Well, I just told these guys a win's always good to get, especially with the way we've been playing lately. You know, it's good for us to see, I think, the ball go through the basket a little bit. Obviously, that's been a struggle for us lately. They came out and threw the first punch at us, unfortunately, but I thought we did a good job responding. And we've worked on in practice the last few days trying to get the ball moving a little more, making some quicker decisions. But it's great to see him go 4 for 6. You know, I think Caleb made 3 the other night. He made 2 tonight. My biggest thing, though, we talked about the game. We haven't been getting to the foul line, which is really frustrating. So we got to the foul line 26 times, and I think when you do that, it shows you that you're being aggressive at the rim.
Offensively, like you mentioned, they both shot it well between these two and Jalen, 50 points. How encouraging is that as you close out conference play here coming up next weekend?
Yeah, it's good, and no matter the opponent, you know, anytime, you know, we've missed some of those same shots we made tonight. You know, it's not that we haven't had open looks, we just haven't made shots. But to these guys' credit, you know, they've continued to shoot the ball with confidence. They're in the morning just about every day at 6:30 getting extra work, and so we're putting the work in. That's what I keep telling these guys is, you know, everybody's frustrated. We want to win every game. Nobody wants to lose, but if you continue to work, it has to turn at some point, and hopefully we're going to continue to turn it like we did tonight.
Zach and then Caleb, just like Coach said, no matter who the opponent is, just how big is it for you guys to come out here tonight and get a win?
I think it builds momentum for the next game, even though we're going on this break. It's just good to get back in the win column because of how we've been playing in the past. So, you know, you just continue to work hard in practice, and we know how big this game was.
Yeah, kind of what Zach said. I think as far as opponents not mattering, this scout was one of our most focused scouts, I believe, going into the game. And then just Coach always says, worry about us, not the other team. So I think just growing as a group, focusing on what we could do, and just getting better. And what Zach said, just building momentum for the next games to come.
Obviously, your next game, Coach, is against a guy that you know very well, heading out to the West Coast, going against Coach Enfield. What type of challenge does that bring? Obviously, they're a very good team, but at the same time, how exciting is that for you to go up against a guy who more or less was one of your mentors in this?
Yeah, well, Coach Enfield and I are still very close. I mean, we talk about once a week. He was a big part of me becoming the head coach here, actually. You know, I've been with him. I was with him at Florida State. We were here together. Obviously, Coach Canten's worked for him at USC. I'm close with his staff, so it's going to be great to see him. You know, that being said, we're both going to be game planning, trying to make sure that, you know, we can come out of there with a win. But I've got so much respect, not just for what he's done here, but taking over a USC program that really had nothing from a talent standpoint when he got there. And you know, now they're rolling #1 player in the country. And you know, I'll share this with you. I talked to him the other night, and he said, "Man, I've got a problem right now, Fly." He said, "You know, one of my guys is shooting up draft boards, and I'm afraid I'm going to lose him as a first-round draft pick." And I said, "Yeah, you know, that's not a terrible problem to have." And he laughed. He said, "But you know, I got the #1 player in the country coming in next year, so I think I'll be okay." So he's done a tremendous job there, but just love him to death as a person, and he's done so much for my career and for me personally.
Zach, you guys made huge improvements last year when you got into conference play. Obviously, one more game before you guys get into conference play. But how much better is this team from the start of the season to now?
Repeat that again?
Just how much better is this team from the start of the season to now, heading into conference play in a couple of weeks here?
I think that our chemistry has grown a lot. Guys are learning how to play to each other because, you know, we have a bunch of new people. So I think we're just gelling, and that's important because we have to stick together in conference play because basically it's the most important season because the season is like divided in 3 parts. So that's mainly the most important part.
Caleb, does it feel good knowing that that is just around the corner, that conference play is on the board, and really, at the end of the day, the ASUN has always been a one-bid league. It kind of cleans the slate for you guys. You can go in there and do your best when conference play starts.
Yeah, kind of what Zach was saying. We kind of have an approach where we look. It's kind of 3 seasons. We got non-conference, conference, and then postseason if you get the opportunity. And then so yeah, it's exciting. We get a lot more home games, which is nice. I think last year we only lost 1 home conference game, so kind of build off of that. And then yeah, just keep growing, keep gelling, and have fun.
Coach, you got Brian Thomas back. I know that he played when you guys were on the road, but just how big of a lift is he for you guys? Not only a guy that's worn this jersey before, but a guy that brings a lot of physicality to the team.
Yeah, well, it's been a tough, and we never make excuses. I told the guys this, yes, we played a challenging schedule. Yes, we've had a ton of injuries, but it's not an excuse. You still have to figure out a way. But he just changes so much. I think these guys both have a big time comfort level with him because they played with him for a year. They had him down for a few block shots, but I think he blocked 4, and I think he changed another 3 to 4. He can score in the post a little bit. He's been through the wars. I mean, this is his 3rd year. He's been through it. So he changes so much on the court. He changes our comfort level. When you've got him and Justice Rainwater protecting the rim, now it allows you, as you saw, Dakota slid to the 4 a little bit tonight. So now we're able to play a little bit more like we envisioned when we put this thing together. So unfortunately, he's still dragging the leg a little bit. He's still not able to practice. So we're not getting 100% of Brian Thomas, but right now we'll take as much of a percentage of him as we can get.
The last one that I would have for you is what happens this week. Obviously, there's a big holiday in the middle of it. You have off until next Sunday when you go to USC. Do the guys get to go home at all see their family for Christmas?
Yeah, that was always, when I was an assistant coach, we would sometimes have 1 or 2 days in every program I was in. That was something I always said was, hey, if I ever get a head coaching job, I want to make sure those guys have some time to spend with their families. I mean, this is a long season. They don't get to go home at Thanksgiving because we're in tournament. So that was one thing we tried to be really smart on the schedule that, hey, let's let these guys get home, get off their legs, spend some time. I think sometimes you just need a mental refresher, whether you're 11-3, 3-11, whatever it might be, it's a hard, long year. And so I'm excited, these guys are going to get to spend some time with their families. I'm going to spend some time with my family, and hopefully I won't gain so much weight over Christmas that I can still fit in my suits.
Catto's got the longest flight home.
Yeah, right.
Longest flight home.
You guys got anything?
I think I could walk home.
Coach, so the last few games especially, it seems like Cyrus Marty's playing a lot more.
Yeah.
And is that something you anticipated in the beginning of the season? Has he earned it? Is that kind of what it is? Or?
Yeah, I mean, these 2 guys will tell you. I mean, Cyrus is a walk-on for our program. I don't say this to put expectations on the kid, but there's a lot of similarities to when Sherwood Brown got here. He was lightly recruited, had some Division I recruitment. These guys will tell you, though, I mean, he plays unbelievably hard every day, full speed all the time, wins every sprint. We showed him on the film the other night. He scored a basket, and he beat everybody back down the floor even after he scored it. But we say this all the time, guys that have great attitudes and put the work in, it works out for them. And, he's been fortunate. It's unfortunate that Sam and Malik are both hurt, but he's benefited from it. And these guys will tell you, too. I mean, he's earned the right to play. I mean, there's days that with his energy and effort, he'll dominate portions of practice, and I've had to tell myself, why aren't we playing him? It's my fault. We should be playing him, because these guys will tell you, I think when he's on the court, there's a confidence he brings. Not that, we expect him to go get 25 points or anything like that, but he's going to try to get every rebound. He's going to try to get every loose ball. I mean, he even had some plays tonight where he keeps a ball active. He drives and kicks it and gets other guys' shots. So he really embodies what I think our program is about, which is toughness, which is hard work. And I like guys that play with a chip on their shoulder, and I think he does that.
All right, super duper.
You guys have a great holiday.
Merry Christmas.